Reload. Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
What is going on, comic fans? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. It's Sunday night. It's time for another episode of At Weeks in the Spoiler Field. Look back at this week in comics and more. And we got a lot to talk about, from Monarch and Daredevil all the way to new DC Comics announcements and new DC Comics releasing. It was a massive week for books, another major week for jumping on points. We're going to be covering all that and more right after this. What up, fool?
What's happening?
It's morphin' time, baby.
Yeah, perfect timing. How are you guys doing tonight?
Tired. I'm really tired.
Yeah, did you just sit down for the first time this weekend?
It feels like it. It feels like it.
You still have your wristband on, so yeah, it's still.
I do. I
You
do.
just
I
escaped
just
the nut house.
I just uploaded the Karan Ashley interview to Instagram.
Ooh.
Right now it's loading. It's not the full thing. It's like 90% because it doesn't want to do anything over 3 minutes. So I had to like cut part of it off. Anyways, what's up, dude?
I see Las Crucias has seen Project Hail Mary. Hashtag flips my bump.
$300 million now. We're talking about
Only a 30%
Wow.
drop off in the second
exactly.
week. Very good. Very good. What's going on, Ruby G? Pop Pop. Hello, 34. What's going on? I realize this isn't a sports forum, but did anyone see the end of the Duke game? Paul did.
I did.
Oh, it's
I
crazy.
guess.
Crazy.
I guess.
Yes,
Fill
Man.
us in what happened, because
Three-
Steve would want to know.
Duke was leading 72-70. They had the ball, like 5 seconds left. They inbound the ball. UConn stole it. The guy shot from like a good 5 to 7 feet beyond the outside arc.
Yeah, which is already it's like a 30-foot shot.
Was already a 3-point, which is already a 3-point play.
So what you're saying is like a blindfold Caitlin Clark
Yeah,
normal shot.
to win 73-72.
That's embarrassing. I don't know if that's embarrassing or that's just a good game, it sounds like.
It was the ending is crazy.
Well, that's cool. Steve, what have you been doing this weekend to be so tired of you wearing your wristband from Arkham Asylum?
Yeah. Do you guys want to be the first to see some of the stuff I got?
Sure.
Well, fill people in on where you've been.
Oh, yeah. I was at Planet Comic Con this past weekend in Kansas City, which we found out there was like 4 big cons this weekend. There was C2E2 that was happening. There was WonderCon, Planet Comic Con, and then there was Lexington Con. So there was 4 cons happening this weekend. And yeah, I was there with my friends, Panda, Mike V, Becker, Circumstances,
Daymares.
Daymares, yeah, SCG, lots of Swagda, lots of great people.
And it's unusual to have some of those cons happening on the same weekend because like C2E2 is big, WonderCon is big, PlanetCon is big, they normally don't. I mean, every weekend you usually get a couple of cons, but there's like one big one and then like the little tiny ones usually that. But there was a couple of really big ones going on this weekend.
And there were some big names there at mine. Like there was Mark Bagley was there, Dan Jurgens was there,
Garrett Hedlund,
Art Germ, Derek Chu, Doug Mankey, Dan
Garrett
Mora. Lots of great people. And the list goes on and on and on. Tom
Hedlund.
Welling was there.
Garrett Hedlund.
Yeah. I'm not going to get into that.
Anyways, I want to hear the story for sure because I know you said that it was difficult with his handler, but you got to start with that. But when you said that name, for those that don't know, that's the actor who plays Sam Flynn in the Tron franchise. He also plays alongside Sylvester Stallone and Tulsa King. Currently, he was in Country Strong with Gwyneth Paltrow. But for me personally, he's Sam Flynn.
He's a movie star. I just think that there was only like 3 or 4 people online. So I was like, okay, well, now's a good time. It was Sunday, the last day of the con. Now's a great time for an interview. I got in line. The handler came up to me, asked me if I would like to, like, what's going on? Like, what do you need? I'm like, obviously she's thinking she's about to get paid, right? Because that's what they're there for.
That's why they're there. Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I was wondering if I could do an interview. And she goes, we don't really do that.
That's fair.
And I was like, okay, no worries. Thanks. And she's like, yep. And then that's it. Like, it wasn't like it was like she was like super mean or anything. I was just, And they say, like, obviously they can decide if whether or not they want to do the
Yeah.
interview. It's the first time I've ever had a celebrity say no. I will say that. And it wasn't even them, it was their handler. So
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Like, and dude, don't take it no type of way. Like, even at Heroes
No.
Con, Steranko doesn't even allow photographs.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I knew
I
that.
sit there and like I just have fun pushing the limit with it. But like we had Steranko's handler one year literally take his hand and put it on Steranko's face to block my camera. Not try to block my camera, like I have it on video, like mushing Steranko's face, saying, "What are you doing? What are you?"
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I've been at other conventions too where the same thing, like celebrities, you can't take their picture at the booth because they want you to pay for a picture with them. You know, you can't take a picture of them, never mind, but just them standing.
Yeah. Time out real quick. The immortal Biggie Mac is in the chat. My man, good to see you. He said, Legion, you seen that weak Jimenez art. Get my McNugget meal ready, baby. I'm coming for the W. So to catch people up, to those that don't know, the immortal Biggie Mac, he threw out just a blind challenge before this week's issue of Spider-Man released. He just like said, hey, should we bet a 10-piece McNugget meal on the Marvel or the DC release of this book being better than the other one? Obviously, like, he granted me the DC one. And we talked about the parameters. How do you even measure that? Steve, I think you were here for that, weren't you?
I was the one who decided how we were going to do that.
Yeah. League of Comic Geeks reviews it, and obviously the personal feelings on it and stuff like that. So that dude sounds like a fun thing to do. So that's on the thumbnail for tonight. We're going to be talking about that tonight. I don't feel sorry for you, Biggie Mac. All I know is my children are going to enjoy that McNugget meal because I'd like to actually downsize it to a Happy Meal so that they can get a toy out of it, save you a little bit of money, and get them a Happy Meal in the process.
Good luck beating a 4.3.
Yeah, like, we're going to get into it, but yeah, to cut back to y'all, like some of the people at the cons and stuff are easier than others. But I wanted to ask, do you have like a specific approach or angle you take? Like me personally, it'd be a little different with Garrett because I'd be there to get his autograph for one. So I would be like, hey, I would be getting him to sign my actual Tron steelbook. You know, I started taking steelbooks to cons for like actual comic book creators. They work on movie art as well. And I did that with Jang, and like he lit up like a Christmas tree seeing all this other hard work and years that he spent being an artist, being appreciated. But I would take the movie he starred in, the steelbook, like, I want to get this signed. I was wondering if I can ask him just a couple quick questions in the process kind of thing. That way they're making the money. I'm there anyways. They're going to be talking to me anyways, you know, kind of.
Well, here's the
trying
thing,
to find an easy way in.
I get that. And here's the thing though, like every other person I talk to, like about an interview, like I've approached differently, and every time they've said yes. And a lot of times they've been a lot more positive in their reaction to me. And granted, it was their handler, not them. But like Karen Ashley, like she was so nice. Like, yeah, absolutely.
That's also that's a different caliber. Like,
yes, I agree. It's a Power Ranger versus
it's not even a first string Power Ranger.
No, well, yeah, but still, like JDF was cool about it too. You know what I mean? So
I met JDF, and it wasn't possible when I met him, but we were able to get some pictures that we paid for. But I also I knew the guy because it was local here, so I knew the guy that was working it, and I had handed him my camera in line. So while we were getting the paid for shot, I was getting it completely recorded on the sly and everything.
Right.
But
were there a lot of people in line when you asked?
He said 3.
There's only 3 people ahead of me.
Okay. I mean behind you. People behind you.
Well, Paul, you remember the water park situation. There's no such thing as people behind him in line. He goes in line where he wants. Do you remember the water park thing? I've forgotten all about that. When Steve got kicked out of the line at the water slide at Great Wolf Lodge or something for cutting.
It was in Minnesota. It was at the Mall of America.
Yes.
And he said that we shouldn't be cutting lines, which we weren't. That my daughter was already in line, or one of us was in line. It didn't matter. The guy was a major douche, and honestly, I'm glad we didn't go on it because it was actually pretty scary. Anyways, you guys want to see what I got?
Story and a way to pick on you. Hurton, what's going on? Hey. Dropping the five memberships there. Big shout out and thank you, homie. And that's not all. There's more. Boom has joined the channel membership. Appreciate you. I don't know if y'all caught it. He hopped on Bleakers today and showed off his Incredible Hulk 1, his AF-15, like all kinds of insane, like large scale grails, Golden Age horror books, all kind of stuff. And then he commented on my IG today, and that was like the first time I went and followed his page. I didn't realize it, but he's just he has like a bunch of Lamborghinis. I was wondering if he won the lottery today when he was like showing off all his books. Like, I bought this last week. I'm like, that's a lot of thousands of dollars in 1 week. This man hit the lottery. But
let me go grab the rest of the haul real quick, and then
all right. His cars are just as impressive as his comic books. It was absolutely impressive.
Very nice.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Okay.
Burke always finds himself in situations like that.
Yeah, it's
a skill. And we all have our own skills. That's Steve's skills.
I have a particular set of skills.
Yeah, they're just intimidated by me.
Okay, you guys ready?
I'm well aware of it never being your fault.
Dude, he was a good time last night at dinner, man. Marcus.
Whoa, what? Who?
Marcus. He showed up.
He's got
he was
soft
just,
hands. Yeah,
we were drinking some drinks and eating some food.
Yeah. Yeah,
ready?
I hope you can make it to Heroes Con this year.
We were talking about that actually. My wife and I were talking about the differences.
My wife.
What's that?
I said my wife.
My wife and I
can't hear that without thinking of Borat.
This is good nuts. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
I'll try to go through this quickly.
Oh yeah, you're fine, dude. You're fine.
Dan Mora poster.
Oh, sweet, signed.
Yep. Well, yeah. And Nightwing through the years.
Yeah, I love the red one.
Oh yeah, dude.
They finally, when they did that, they kind of like legitimized the Batman and Robin movie with Clooney, and that's the only legitimacy that movie's ever been given.
We have the Justice League by Dan the Man Jurgens.
Oh, wow. Look at Batman's cape. I love when he like how McFarlane draws his cape.
So it was okay. So we had the same poster at Heroes last year, but they took off the trade dress. They moved everyone up and added the Superman logo at the bottom.
It looks good.
It does look good. It does look good. Signed as well. And by the way, I got some video of Dan the Man Jurgens, and I'll talk about it here in a minute. Team and T, Freddie Williams.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Which one, the second or third?
Freddie Williams is this third, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I don't know. Freddie Williams the second does the covers for the Phantom book.
I didn't want to support this guy, but I really like the poster. Like, this guy's totally printing stuff off the internet and then just selling it at cons and he will not take cards because he doesn't want a digital record.
Good for him. Sounds like my kind of guy. That's amazing. Let's go.
So I got the Power Rangers here.
Why didn't you just print one off the internet?
Yeah, I know, right? Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the most iconic shots of the Rangers ever, though.
It is.
Oh, no,
this was given to me for free by Aisha, Karen Ashley.
Becker, you still supported it?
Yeah, well,
he paid for convenience. He didn't pay to
support if he
it.
did, but like the posters, every poster 100% looked like it was printed and not like official. Does that make sense? Like he had a Power Rangers the movie from '95, the poster, and you
have to flip through a bunch of Polaroids and pick which one you want. He pulls it out from under the table. It's very official.
You gotta pay for that nice printer that he bought, and so he sells the posters.
Yeah. Okay. I got a bunch
he
of
just
books.
opens a trench coat.
We're not going to go
just
through
has
this.
like
so many.
Polaroids of the pictures in the trench coat.
Jason Aaron signed my Absolute Superman #1.
I only need one more signature now.
He signed my Team and T #1 from the current volume by IDW. Derek Chu not only signed, but he fixed my mess up here. Mighty Morphin #4, the 1 of 100.
Amazing. I like that thick boy signature like that. It looks good.
Yeah, pretty sick. And then
like
I have
like a Rob Liefeld chiseled one.
Yeah. So it's a classy bootleg. Wait till I find some fancy crack for you.
Absolute Superman #1 signed by Scotty Young, and Lobo #1 signed by Scotty Young.
I didn't even see that one. Nice.
And then he also was giving out Frankenstein's to anyone who made a purchase.
Oh, really cool.
As well. Okay, so that's the first box. Second box. There's only 3, so I'll try to make this quick.
Dude, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Did you know that the OG Black Ranger was missing a finger the whole time? I saw it on an interview, and they always tried to hide it. We did know that, and here's also a fun fact: he is still missing those fingers.
Okay. We talked about Dan Moore earlier. Let's show off what I got signed by Dan Moore. Which, by the way, he is so popular. Mm-hmm. He has a guy that literally stands behind him and just puts his finger on a corner of the book to move it over after he signs it. That's all. That's his only job, is to move the book over for.
That's actually like a really, really good job to have.
Yeah.
Again, going back to Steranko, he doesn't have that guy, and he regularly rips books on accident. He is a little bit older though, and his sleight of hand as an aging magician isn't as good as it used to be.
He's a great guy too, by the way. He was super nice. He's a big dude, actually, like taller than me, which I didn't like that, but anyways, I didn't like that. Really nice. And I told him, I said, your work on Go-Go Power Rangers is legendary. That's how I got to know you. I love your art, man. He looked up at me and he goes, "Thank you very much."
Oh,
and then after Dan Moore, yes.
Yeah. Dude, I keep forgetting about that. That's how we all found him, like pretty much, was with Power Rangers. Because what was the other one that he was doing for Boom Studios or whatever it was? It was like a Prince Arthur book.
It was like a King Arthur book. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Now, but then the other thing was that I found him with was he did a whole bunch of Claws with Grant Morrison.
Yeah, he did that miniseries.
Okay, so I got him to sign my Go-Go Power Rangers #1, even though it's not his cover. He still has interior art, but
that's a great cover though.
He created.
There we go.
The Ranger Slayer with Ryan
That's the
Parrott.
second print, isn't it?
This is the second print. His cover still.
Yeah.
Got him to sign it.
Amazing.
And then
that's his greatest creation.
It is. Future State.
Yep.
That's all him,
baby. First appearance of Yara Floor.
Yep.
And then
primer.
Of course.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So that's the Dan Moore stack.
Steranko is a god. He can rip your crappy comics if he wants to.
Okay, let's go to this. Is Aaron
still with the height thing?
Aaron Bartling. Wow.
Yeah, I know you're a big Bartling guy. That's awesome.
I am.
The collection's growing. Now here's the question: as you have a history with Bartling, and separately than that, you have a history with Bartling books. Let's make a wager, Paul. How many times will Steve have to submit this one to CGC?
It's not going to CDC. It's going to stay with me. I'm not going to take that chance again right now.
He said, "I'm still hurting."
Yeah. Okay. Then we have. Let's try to put this in order. We have.
Becker wants to know: couldn't you find someone else just to recreate Dan's covers for less money?
TMNT 13, the 1 of 75 or 1 of 100 signed by.
Didn't that come out of the blind bag?
I got it out of the blind bag from our guy, Paul, ABX. He did the interiors. Yep, there it is. And then I also got him to sign issues 14, 15, and 16.
So that's out of the blind bag that you purchased from your long distance comic shop where you have your pull list through ABX Comics and Games. Link in the description. The community's comic shop.
Basically, all of these books that I got getting signed, almost all of them are from ABX. Okay. And then you guys are going to like this last one. I guess I can show them all. I got a print from David Sanchez.
Mm-hmm. The naming of the age after gold into silver instead of Marvel was the greatest hidden agenda of DC Comics in the deep state of the Big Two. It is the Silver Age. It's marked by the coming of Barry Allen.
This is his cover for Mighty Morphin 4, but he got it as a print.
I haven't seen that in forever. That was a retailer exclusive, wasn't it?
Yep. So David Sanchez cover.
These are bringing back 2020 vibes, dude. I can't believe it's been that long.
And if anyone knows who David Sanchez is, do you know who that is, Mark?
David Sanchez?
Yes.
He did the art for the C2E2 book. I mean, for the C3 book last year.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got him to sign it in purple. And then I had some other books sent to me so I can get signed for someone else.
DJ just gave away one of those books. David Sanchez too.
I got 5 of these, all signed in light green.
Oh, snap.
For DJ Links. So these are all going to go back to DJ Links. Funny story. He didn't like the size of the windows. So after the first one, he took them all out and we just
so he can be more natural with it.
Yeah. Yep. So
you should be like, nah, I want you to sign it in the window.
And
just out of curiosity, Steve, you are a fan of portrait headshots on covers. Why didn't you just have them sign them right over their eyes like you did with all your Power Ranger visors?
Well, it's a visor. That's not it's not technically their eyes. And that was only one book I got signed that way. There's only one book.
Power Ranger memories are coming back to me right now, dude. I'm so excited for this new series.
I know. And that's it for now, I believe.
It looks like you had a pretty full show, pretty solid show.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get any big books. Trust me, I looked, and there were some big books, just not in the price range that I wanted to pay. And I was fine with it. I
love going through those phases though, because I've had years where I've gone to the big show and I've just checked off as many big books as I possibly could.
Yeah,
same. I had years where I just spent a lot of time just getting stuff signed, and I had years like last year where I literally didn't. There's nothing that I cared to do other than just be there and just see what talked to me. I bought a toy. I went with other people to go like, let me go haggle for your books. You just go through different phases.
Yeah, and I mean, when I was at Heroes, I was like, I need to get these books, and I was able to do that. And this con, I was like, wow, I'm never going to see Derek Chu probably again. I'm never going to see Dan Moore probably again, and I wanted to get those signatures while I could, And it was great to see all of my friends as well and get an interview done. And it was cool. And I got another really cool video coming. I think I put a preview of it in the Burke fam chat. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that little 15, 20-second video I put in there yesterday.
Which one?
Well, I was asking him who his favorite comic book character is and why.
I don't think I caught it.
It was okay. Well, wait till you guys see the video. You guys are going to like it. I think you guys will like it. I think the whole comic book community will like it because I got a lot of really cool people in there.
Legion, why did they accuse me of being Sticky Goose last night on Mighty's show? I'm way funnier than the Duck. I have no clue. I don't keep up with Mighty. I don't keep up with Sticky Goose. I don't keep up with any of that. All I know is when you're here, I just communicate with you as you present yourself here. It's that simple. That's simple, my dude. And I appreciate you being here. We have a lot of fun, good conversation. And I'm going to need them chicken nuggets next month when Marvel can't keep up.
Good luck beating that 4.3. Good luck.
We'll see.
That's a crazy high score. That's a crazy
we can move right into that if you want. We can go ahead and touch on that. That was kind of a big thing for this week. This is Paul, you want to set it up what the whole release is, what the whole point is?
Sure.
The book we're talking about.
So DC and Marvel started at the end of last year. Maybe it was the beginning of this year. I don't recall. Maybe it was January. They, after a long period of time of doing crossovers with their characters, they did Deadpool and Batman and Deadpool. And how it works is Marvel releases one edition. They get all their they get the writers, they hire the artists, they do everything. And it's a compilation. They have one story with Batman and Deadpool, and then they do a whole bunch of smaller, shorter stories in the back that are basically, probably Batman or Deadpool adjacent for the most part that they put together. And so Marvel did the first one, DC did the second one of the Deadpool and Batman. Now it's Superman's and Spider-Man's turn. DC this time is doing the first one, Superman, Spider-Man. Not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, on April 8th, I think it is. Marvel will do the Spider-Man, Superman. And again, DC hires its own, the writers and artists that it wants. Marvel hires the artists and writers that it wants and that can get. And basically that's how they're doing it. And who knows where they'll go from here. I'm sure, since at least the Deadpool and Batman ones absolutely, did gangbusters, and I'm sure Superman, Spider-Man will too.
I bet it does more.
Yeah, exactly. That there will be more of these coming along. I wouldn't be surprised again if they did another Avengers Justice League somewhere down the road, or Maybe they do another Amalgam universe. That would be good too, because he's still out there somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And to the wager with the last one, Marvel put it out. It was a fun cover by more than it was anything. The stories were whack. They were weak. It was all weak fan service, and they sold covers off of it. The DC one came out. It was a little bit stronger in its main story. It still wasn't great. I'll be honest with you. I don't even think it was that fun. I don't even own a copy of the DC one because I got one just to read and put in a giveaway and was waiting for like an amalgam cover to come out like they did with the first one in a second print because I was going to use that as a keep copy just to put in my amalgam collection. So with this one so far, I did the same thing. I went into it blind and just picked up a copy for a giveaway. I got the J. Scott Campbell one. I read it and I was pleasantly surprised to be extremely wrong. This one, like I didn't until we were on here together the week before it released, like less than a week before it released. That was the first time I looked at and saw the actual, what is it? The creators in it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dang, Mark Waid, Tom King, like they're literally like Christopher Priest, like some of the most trusted writers in comics that you can set your clock by. I'm like, oh, this is more promising. And then we get the book and I read the book and there's not a single throwaway story in here except for the Jimmy Olsen one by Brad Meltzer. All of them are very thoughtful, meaningful. They've got like a pretty strong message to them, or either like the main one
Matt
is
Fraction
what?
Does the Jimmy Olsen one.
Oh, I thought Brad Meltzer did that. Which one?
Brad Meltzer is actually doing the main story in the Spider-Man Superman one.
Got you. But yeah, Matt Fraction went in. I don't think it was bad. It just I didn't care for it because it was kind of pointless feeling. It just meanders around to the last page of just Jimmy walking up on Carnage and getting taken out kind of thing. But overall, it was incredibly well done. I love the way that they approach it as if these characters just simply exist in the same world. They never, ever say anything to the point of them like crossing worlds. They're just, it's just like a Batman ran into Superman. Yes.
You know, they know each other's secret identities. All of that stuff is like, you know, it throws out all the, we got to fight first before we realize that we're on the same side type of a thing. You know, it gets rid of all those tropes and just says, you know what? These guys are in the same universe. They have met a couple of times before, so it's not like they should not know each other.
Yeah, it was incredible. I got to tell you, the Tom King story with Superman and Spider-Man fighting the Sentinel had a great guest appearance of a very beloved X-Men character. Gambit popped up, which is freaking awesome.
Huge double page spread by Jim Lee.
It was gorgeous. Yeah. And for those that know like the off-camera like information about me, like Gambit's like a very near and dear character to me. Oh, Remy LeBeau. I love me some Remy LeBeau. Yeah. And then the Superboy Prime with the symbiote Spider-Man story arc was kind of fantastic. They leaned into the shattering reality angle that Superboy Prime is kind of his shtick now. And it was kind of a heartfelt, like you're better than your worst days kind of story, which I thought was great. Christopher Priest just really sent it. There's even a Power Girl Punisher story in the back, which was I think probably the shortest one. And it was kind of, I don't want to say it's pointless, but it was definitely pointless. They wanted to get Power Girl in there as a Superman character. And I guess Punisher is heavily associated with Spider-Man having made his first appearance there. But it was, I don't know. It was kind of like in my opinion, like the weakest one on there after the Jimmy Olsen one. But this one felt a lot more focused. It felt like the characters were more attached to the title of the book. It didn't feel like, but you had a Batman Deadpool book with Jeff the Land Shark and Crypto in it last time. That makes no sense. None.
Did you get the feeling that the Superboy and Spider-Man 2099 story, like maybe that's not the end of that?
Dude, we need an Elseworld of that so bad. Bad. We had Spider-Man 2099 crossing with Batman Beyond and Superboy, and they used the Legion angle, like Superboy traveling to the future. I'm like, this is brilliant.
Yep.
This is so well done and so thought out. That was rock.
They're all heading off to the source wall at the very end. So it's like, it almost seems like this isn't over yet.
Dude, I think that they have a major opportunity to continue that story in the next one next month. Like that would be incredible. Was that the Sean Gordon Murphy one?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, dude. So good. So good. Highly suggest this one. Where's my homie at? Biggie Mac, you got your work cut out for you on this. I know you and I aren't the ones writing this, but the quality of this one does not bode well for Marvel. Doesn't bode well for Marvel. We'll see. Why can't they bring back the Golden Age Sandman when men were mystery men? Would have been a better comment. What's going on with Monarch? I've only seen reaction videos for the first 2. Don't mind spoilers. Oh, we're going to get into it. We haven't covered it yet.
The last 15 minutes or so, but the first 25 sucked.
Well, I got to tell you, the latter half of this episode was probably the biggest gut punch in like the entire season 1 and 2 history.
Yep.
I mean, all it did, like the first part of it, and I'll try to watch this as you guys were talking. I'll just have the sound off.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
All it did is show him go from one family to the other and just re-emphasize that he's a cheater.
I'll tell you right now, this episode handles it and deals with it. So it looks like we're going to be past it moving forward. I'll let you know that now for numerous reasons.
And when Titan X shows up, it's like, wow.
Titan X has got to go after this episode. Like, I'm like, this is such a cool Titan. I can't wait to just see all kinds. Then I saw this episode. I'm like, all right, we got to kill this thing now. Now it's got to pay for its crimes. What about Daredevil season 2, episode 1? Thought they did a great job and love Matthew Lillard. We'll also get into that as well. This was a far greater crossover issue. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Jeff the Land Shark, Crypto, Rules Mark, stop hating fun. It wasn't fun. That's the problem. It wasn't fun. I love fun, and it was the opposite of fun. It was 8 pages of wasted potential. That's not fun. That's like saying, let's go ride a roller coaster. We have 20 minutes to ride it, but we're going to stand here and stare at the wall for 8 minutes. And then you can try to gaslight us into thinking that these 8 minutes were fun instead of the 14 we spent on the roller coaster. Do you feel DC was relevant in the 60s, or were they just getting cooked by Lee? Both. I think DC was very relevant. DC was very relevant.
Silver Age in the 60s. What are you talking about? They
created
the freaking.
If you big picture it, hindsight 2020, the Silver Age was like a very campy era for DC, where Marvel wasn't cooking them in sales, but it's what gave rise to Marvel because people were loving the edgy alternative. It was kind of Marvel in the 60s was like Image in the 90s. It was the edgy, more gritty alternative to the campy, lighthearted, for kids nature of DC Comics. DC was cooking them in sales, and Marvel was having to double up titles into one book just to get like newsstand space. But they ultimately were able to gain their momentum and become like such a big player because of the new angle that they took. It was just might have been selling less, but they were meteoric rise. And that's why you get into the 70s with DC and you start to see a tonal shift with DC. You start to get ready. You're starting to birth the likes of like Neil Adams and stuff at that point, who saw the writing on the wall and wanted to not just edge out, but modern out their characters and relate them more with the current readers. Because back then at that point, you had people been reading for a while and they wanted these characters to kind of grow and adapt with the readers a little bit. Kind of like me with Power Rangers. I don't want to read the newest iteration of Power Rangers. I want to read the original Power Rangers written for me as an adult now, not a child now kind of thing. It was kind of like that. You gotta edge up with your audience.
Right. DC started hiring people who grew up wanting to be comic book creators.
Yeah.
That was
for sure. What is going on, old school? How many more years do I need to wait to get those Romance Golden Age books at a 50% discount today? I have no idea. No idea. But Schuster did a lot of Romance Golden Age books.
Jack Kirby did some too.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, this book was incredible for what it is. For a fan service crossover book, I don't think you could ask for more because in my mind, they're kind of gimmick books. Obviously, they're gimmick books. They're meant to be gimmick books. I'll always be like a mainline DC continuity first and foremost kind of person. But this one shockingly didn't let me down, and I'm going to have to be getting a PC copy now for the collection for sure. Just because this is something that I'll end up rereading down the road. I don't think it'll have any value down the road. These things rarely do, but too many of them are made. You know what I mean? Like right off the bat, no one misses out on them for them to get.
What is this girl doing?
Which one? Oh, you're watching Monarch.
What is she doing?
Is she? Oh, okay. I know what scene you're at. So we're going.
She's doing.
Yeah, just dude. If you want, you might.
She is the Titan Whisperer.
You don't remember the last episode when she was by the bridge? The vibrations that she didn't know what it was, but it was her sensing it. So there's some kind of connection with her and Titan X that we have not figured out what it is.
Well, I mean, and we know that like Godzilla looked at her and like in the desert or whatever.
Not just in the desert.
Yeah, that scene is pretty killer.
She's the Titan Whisperer.
Oh, and she's like going crazy when this thing gets attacked.
Yeah, she's got some kind of link up to it. So Monarch season 2, episode 5. Pretty wild. So we left us off with Hero. There's 3 generations of Randas here. You have Grandma, what's her name? Kiko. Her son Hero. And then you have May and Kentaro. So in this one, Hero's dealing with addressing his mom on finding the letter that he found out that his mom wasn't faithful to his dad. And they got some family drama of like why his dad left him and went out to go search for monsters and died and all this and that. And we've kind of been like unpacking and the characters kind of addressing each other with all this kind of stuff while they're trying to deal with tracking monster or Titan X. And in the last episode, it's revealed to Hero that his mom was unfaithful, and it ended with him bringing that knowledge to her. And this one kind of starts with that fallout and Kurt Russell kind of bringing up like dude, you can't.
How brutal was that? How brutal of a takedown was that? I fell in your mother fell in love with 2 different people. I think you of all people should understand what that's like.
Of all people. Yeah, why you literally have 2 kids here who just met each other last season for the first time as adults.
Yeah.
But they ultimately take the information they gathered at Apex. They found Bill Randa's chart mapping Titan X's migration pattern. We've learned that it was in Access Monday hibernating. Basically, it takes this migration path. It does its thing like every so many years, and it hibernates. They interrupted that hibernation, so it's on that path early. So it's going back to that village that we saw in those early episodes in the flashback. So they're trying to race there, let Monarch know. Monarch's trying to clear their name with their bosses after Apex screwed them over, and the bosses don't believe that Apex screwed them over. Apex is running a good game here, a real good game. So they're all racing to get there before Titan X. Apex is already there because they had all this information, just screwing everybody over. Ultimately, our characters get there. Titan X shows up. Apex is trying to monitor it and get some of that tech onto it and hopefully can take over its nervous system and gain control over it. Kate, with this undefined psychic link, is affected by its present and wanders out to the end of the pier where it comes down face to face with her, and we get that iconic shot that we've seen in numerous different MonsterVerse installments, from the little girl walking up to Kong, from Godzilla coming down to Mothra, from Dr. Kurosawa walking up to Godzilla and putting his hand on him before setting off the bomb to recharge Godzilla. It was such an iconic shot that's kind of built into the Titan lore at this point. And ultimately, Apex hits it with their tech and pisses it off. The tech isn't strong enough to take over its system. All the scarabs come out and actually chew off a limb of Titan X.
Weird.
Yeah, to get rid of the foreign object on it.
I have a question about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
About the scarabs.
Yeah.
How many scarabs? Where do those scarabs come from? I know do they come from Axis Mundi, and that's where they come up from? Because
let me answer your question with a question. How many friends does it take to defend France?
Yes, yeah. No, but I guess my point is, wouldn't they all have just run out the last time he was here?
No, so I guess there's it's kind of confirmed there's an epic amount of them. We've seen them in Access Monday when it came out of hibernation, they flooded toward it. We saw when it approaches a certain beach, it comes out of the ground. When it comes back here, it comes out of the ground. It looks like not all of them are able to catch a ride every time. It might swim faster.
So they just missed the last bus and they're just catching the next one.
So what it seems like, yeah. Because it seems like they're kind of just present all over the place in its migration path. Who knows? They might be They might be laying eggs, and every time you see them come out and go to it, these could be the ones that were laid last time it was there. Like, we don't have the details on how that works, but
they're like cicadas, like the
sea turtles, mate.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it was crazy the way that it like basically, amputated
Itself.
the limb.
Yeah, and then it turns red and it goes crazy and it starts thrashing buildings. You got like all the Randas run out, they go snatch up Kate. It's smashing the Apex little mobile station that was set up there, and in the buildings busting and being destroyed. Not everybody walks away unscathed. Hero, the dad who they were searching for the entire first season, the missing character who brought the siblings together that we followed on their journey, that set up this whole family dynamic. He takes some debris to the gut.
Wow.
And laying there in his mom's arms while she's singing to him, and his daughter's sitting there holding his hand, and he croaks. He absolutely does not make it. Hero, the most important character, I would argue, because he's the one with the big brain. He's the one that developed the tech that can hopefully track the Titan. He's the one, he's it. He's the one that they relied on for anything other than just brute strength and Ocean's 11 style cunningness. He's the brain. He died. We lost one of our main characters this episode. It was pretty wild.
I mean, they've been like, I just finished it. I was going to say, it finally feels like Game of Thrones, to where like no one is safe. You know what I mean? Whereas like before, like everyone kept living. You know what I mean? Like even when it looked like for sure Keiko had died from like those scarab looking things. And
same with Lee. You know, we left season 1 not even sure if Lee was alive.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, Young Lee was still off doing his Avengers stuff because he appeared for like 2 seconds.
Who's that?
Young Lee.
Oh, Wyatt.
Wyatt, yeah.
That's the second time someone's mentioned the Mario Galaxy in the chat tonight. So I'm not a big video gamer at all. And I went and took the kids to see the Mario movie, the first one. And like, I understand how kids can like it. I have no clue in hell how adults can like that movie. Like, as a parent watching it, it's not too hard to get through, kind of thing.
I liked it.
But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, as a kids movie kind of thing, it's an easy one to sit through. But it's never something that I would, if I didn't have kids, I would never watch it, and I would be glad that I never watched it.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'll never turn it on for myself, kind of thing. But I think it's just the, like, I talked about it when that movie came out. I said this was made by people with TikTok brain for people with TikTok brains, because it seemed like a sequence of just like Instagram reels that were streamed together, which is fine. I mean, it's made for a younger audience. That makes sense. It's fine. But I guess it's coming out soon.
Wednesday.
Families will go see Super Mario Galaxy at the movie theaters. I'll be honest with you, Kevin. A lot of adults are going to go see it. And that's what I was going to say. That's what happened with the last one. There's a lot of diehard Mario fans. Like, I grew up playing Mario, like on the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the 64. After that, that was it. But there's still a lot of adults that really love it. And you're getting into some of the lore in this galaxy that's kind of past like those 80s kids that they're still going to go see it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be, but I can imagine it's going to do very well in Japan.
Why is that, Paul? I'm just kidding. Really well. Yeah, to his comment, he says that box office analysts, which I don't ever pay attention to. The views and opinions you hear me express on this are literally solely mine, based off just my interpretation and my observations of things. But he says that they typically focus on domestic box office, which, if you watch the stream, you know that, because Paul mentioned that to me, and we go back, we've talked about it back and forth, like, why is domestic so important, when it's really just, in my mind, the totality of it all. But it's an international audience going to have to show up for this film to reach 1 billion. The last one made over 1.2 billion with a massive international show up for it. I think it's
going to make 2 billion. I think it's going to make 2 billion.
Yeah, this one's going to do more than the last one.
Video games are not are worldwide. They're not, not only people in America play video games.
Yeah. and this is like their like international property first and foremost.
Right.
There's like they just spent so much money putting a Super Mario Galaxy and Epic universe. It's guaranteed to do gangbusters. John Goodman's character is the only one safe, 100%. Bill Randa is the only character safe in Monarch because
Yep.
at least in the flashback stuff, because we know when he dies.
Right.
I watch it and I don't have kids. You shouldn't be telling everyone that, J-Mad. Not with so much confidence.
But he goes on to say that he had 2 massive margaritas.
That's even worse. You shouldn't say that either.
They touched a little bit on her choosing to go down to Axis Mundi. And like I always thought that like that's like when those scarab or things grabbed her in that first or second episode, that's how she got down there. But
she didn't choose to go down there. The kids looked at like her decision to go monster hunting as the choice. The dangers. You kind of you took these risks. You had me at home. Why were you taking these risks? What did you do that made Dad leave?
Right.
Yeah, I mean they're literally monster hunting with kids at home, but that's kind of like storm chasers. Like, why would anyone be a storm chaser if you got kids at home? That's such a high risk occupation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll be going with my son, but yeah, I wouldn't watch it. Otherwise, grew up a Nintendo nerd. Yeah, and see, it'll either be me and the wife taking them or Pops taking the kids to see it. It's kind of just if it's coming out Wednesday, it'll probably be Pops taking them to see it while we're working Masters Week. Can't remember what movie it was last year, but they always go see movies with Pops or me and the wife. It just depends on who's available, kind of thing. They went to see something last year that I think I wanted to see though, or maybe it was Kyle that wanted to see it. I don't know. I'll just buy it when it comes out.
School shut down during Masters Week because of the overrun of this.
We just adjust our spring break is Masters Week, so everything in the CSRA, which is what they call like the Savannah River, the greater Savannah Riverside here, all of its spring break is moved back from like the normal 2 weeks away from when like Emma at college, just like 40 minutes up the road, she's already spring break. But here we're all going to be spring breaking starting this Friday will be the last day of school for kids until the 13th kind of thing. Rain of Fire's Loki Fire. Yeah, I love Rain of Fire. Early Gerard Butler flick too. Matthew McConaughey, Christian Bale. But yeah, everything's shut down. Well, school and stuff like that.
Right.
It's pretty wild. But Steve, what do you think like of the Titan X action scene there at the end? Did this fulfill the monster quota for the episode? Strong finish?
It did. It kind of felt a little bit like Tron, to where like when he's blue, is he good? And when he's red, he's not. What's going on there?
Blue is defensive. Red is offensive. Blue is he's chill. He's happy. Red is he's mad.
I mean, I don't know. It's and I'm pretty interested now to see.
He's peacocking.
Interested to see, like them dive more into the scarabs. Like what's going on? Like you guys were talking about, and also like where is the connection with Kate and Axis Monday monsters? You know what I mean? Like I'm interested about
what's causing her to have the connection to this thing, because we first got the hint of it when they were sending the dad off, or when they opened up the Monarch ship to let Lee out in the dinghy in episode 2 or whatever. The water was vibrating by her feet, and she that was our first hint of it. So I'm wondering what event caused her to have the whatever connection it is, or what, because she was in Axis Monday, but she didn't interact with this thing until it came up. But she was the one that let it up. I wonder if it had to do with the machine that opened up the portal, or I don't know.
Yeah. And what's the future of Apex with their ability to control them?
Zero. I guess it's just
it worked on small, very small bird like type thing.
Yeah, it doesn't scale. I told you that it doesn't scale. Yeah. So I guess this is cool though that you saw that Mecha Godzilla wasn't their first choice. Not at all. But yeah, pretty wild. Did you guys watch Daredevil? What is it? Daredevil season 5, Born Again season 2, episode 1?
I did.
No. I'm watching Invincible.
It wasn't too bad, Steve. Actually, it was actually pretty good. I thought.
Did you watch the last?
I've heard a lot of people say that because season 1, like everyone said, sucked, but now everyone's saying season 2 is good.
Because actually, you actually see Daredevil doing Daredevil stuff in the first episode.
Season 1 was so bad. Don't let anyone ever lie to you and say it wasn't. It was It was offensive how bad the writing was with season 1. Now, I will tell you, episode 1 of Daredevil Born Again season 1 was a strong first episode.
Mhm.
And then it immediately went to Shitsville.
Mm-hmm.
So like this first episode of this, it does a good job being like, because like, this, you can, when this is all said and done, it's like one long season or one regular length season instead of 2 short seasons. So it doesn't feel like you're starting anew. You're just picking right up where you left off. So they do a good job. Like with these TV shows with these huge ensemble casts, you really have to balance a lot of characters, in my mind at least. It doesn't need to, you're not doing this like Lost where one episode we're going to focus on Jack, the next episode we'll focus on Sawyer, and we'll keep bouncing around. You're having to balance them all. And they did a pretty good job of that. They got the ball rolling, they got the story moving, they check in with everyone. You get a decent little action scene, a nice little cliffhanger, a little oh snap moment where I will say Daredevil gets punched in the head one time and falls to the ground like defeated, but he gets unmasked and then like a knife comes bouncing around the room that kills everyone in the room. No, they all get shot. Then a knife comes down in the room.
You're welcome.
So basically Bullseye took everyone out in the room who had just bested Daredevil. So you got to get this like, oh snap, Bullseye's helping Daredevil. You just killed his best friend last episode kind of thing. Is
his best friend, the guy that he works with, is he gonna live to episode 2?
Oh, Cherry?
The guy who had the heart attack. We get to see Shaggy from the Scooby-Doo movies.
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
Playing a CIA spook.
Yep. Which, by the way, 2 episodes this week for Daredevil.
Okay.
Because what they're doing is the Punisher special is coming out on May 12th.
Oh, perfect.
If they had done 1 per week, it would have also been the last episode of season 2. So they're doing 2 episodes so that there's a week between the final episode of Daredevil and the Punisher special.
Okay. But they should have just like rolled it perfectly. Why would they? Why would you want a gap?
Exactly.
Whatever. Anyways, but yeah, it was a solid start. I think Frank needs a special after that awful showing that they gave him last time we saw him. Huh?
He's got a special coming out in May, I believe.
Yeah, that's what Paul was just saying.
May 12th.
As soon as Daredevil wraps up, there'll be 1 off week, and then it'll.
No, there won't be. It'll be the
perfect.
12. It'll be the week before. What would happen is the 2 of them would have been on the same day.
Oh, okay, I got you. I thought
what they did is
moved it to make a gap.
Yeah.
Well, then that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So this show will roll right into it.
Right.
I wonder if he's expected to make an appearance in the show. A lot of this stuff I'll keep up with behind the scenes stuff along the way, but I completely checked out of giving 2 craps.
I believe they said he was not
season.
going to appear in season 2 at all because he's appearing in Brand New Day instead, and his own.
When does that come out?
July, I think. June.
Okay.
One of them is June. The Supergirl's in 1 month, and Brand New Day is in the other one. June and July.
Gotcha. Steve, what's happening with Invincible? You said you've been watching that.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. So episode 2 is insane. Omni-Man and Seth Rogen's character, I forgot the guy's name, super strong guy. Alan. Yeah. They group up and you get to see Omni-Man's like, what's the best way to say this? It's not real, like not fully his origin, but essentially his origin, which is pretty cool. And episode 4 is the lowest rated episode of the series. But they have, what is the guy's name? He was in the Penguin series as the main bad guy.
Clancy Brown?
Is that who that is?
Who played Maroni? Who had the heart attack while he was having a fist fight with the Penguin?
Yes.
Who the Penguin systematically took out his family by
the voice of Lex Luthor in the Superman animated series.
Yeah. So he plays
Sergeant Zim from Starship Troopers, the stepdad from Pet Sematary 2.
Okay, you guys are just going crazy. He plays Damien Darkblood, who's connected to Satan, and
not to be associated with Damien Dark.
Right. Correct. Right. And they have to call upon Invincible to help him. And at first, Invincible's like, he goes up and tries to like almost kill Satan at first. And then it's a whole thing. Episode 4 kind of sucked, but the rest of it has been phenomenal.
Yeah, a lot of people were mad about episode 4 and them glazing Satan.
Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. But the series so far has been phenomenal. And he's dealing with, deciding whether he wants to be like the Punisher and put people down for good, or be more like Batman, and his choices he makes and how he's dealing with that. And also with some stuff going on with Adam Eve that he's not been privy to.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, it's great.
He's also in Dexter. Wink. Dexter New Blood. Yep. He was a collector of finer things in Dexter New Blood. I still have to watch that newest season of Dexter, Vengeance. Gotta catch up with that. But yeah, the internet's been a fun place this week, from people being mad about the glazing of Satan in Invincible. And I get some of it and I don't get some of it. Some of it's just like rage baiting, and some of it people are just really upset with like Hollywood messaging as a whole these days. It's been a very interesting past few months with like disclosure. A lot of people are more sensitive toward things after everything that's happened in the real world between actual wars and motives behind stuff, and just disclosure of files and like the things that actually were in those files. And some people are more informed on them than others, so they're more sensitive toward bad messaging and things than others. And that's why you saw so much of a positive spin around the reception of Project Hail Mary. People were coming out praising seeing a movie that is just meant, like, it's showing humanity coming together and giving you a hopeful message. And it's apolitical, and it's not nothing immoral about it. Like, it's just, and that's why that like had such a strong response to that aspect of it, because the world's a very dark place. And a lot of people learned that for the first time in the past few months. So some of that messaging just isn't going to go over like it did a few years ago when it was edgy and cool to be edgy and cool. It's just not the same anymore. And that isn't the only thing that had the internet on fire. I know, Steve, I know you're on X. I don't know how often you check in on X and see what's happening.
I'm on there too often, talking mostly sports, but I do post some family stuff and some comic book stuff as well.
Yeah, I don't do any family stuff, but I follow like comic book stuff over there, and just that's really the temperature in the room. Like for all the people that thought like Twitter was going to go under when it was bought out, they couldn't have been farther from the truth. It's still the biggest social media platform and the place to go to the town square to see what people are arguing about. And this week, surprisingly enough, the argument in the comic book circle was actually started, fueled, and driven by none other than DC writer extraordinaire Tom Taylor and his hot take and the way that he responded to some fans and comments about his most recent issue of Detective Comics, inside of which you had this scene where Batman and the Bat family were getting together with Oliver Queen and Black Canary at Ted Grant's old boxing studio. And Bruce and Black Canary have a boxing sparring match in the ring where Dinah wins, which to me, like, I read the book, I don't think anything of it at all, literally at all. It doesn't even faze me. I'm just reading what I felt was like a wholesome moment with this group of characters. They're able to let their hair down. And like, to me, it was like this beautiful moment because I'm a JSA guy, and her talking about how Ted trained me, Ted trained you, Ted left the gym to me, I'm going to keep it alive. To me, this was like a huge like love letter legacy moment to how these characters adapt and grow over the years.
No way did he say that on Twitter.
And bro, there's
no way that he said that.
Comic fans, actual readers, and I'm sure plenty of just douchebags wanting to argue, responded to him like saying that Batman's like pretty much, he's like, in his mind, he's nerfing Batman and propping these other characters up. And people were just weighing in on kind of fan debating. And he starts kind of like big leaguing them in a very weird way, like a very weird way. And then Chuck Dixon, who's kind of like on the polar opposite end of the political aisle as Tom Taylor, does exactly the same thing from his perspective, calls Tom Taylor a tourist who doesn't deserve to be stewarding these characters, having no respect for him. So basically, what you have is two ideologically driven comic creators from different ends of the spectrum who shouldn't be allowed on social media for at least a week. They both deserve to be put in timeout, because what should have been a really fun fan moment, talking to like the creator of the book who's being active on social media and with each other, debating about, do you think Cassandra Cain can beat Batman in a fight? Do you think Black Canary can beat Batman in a fight? Which the answer to is obviously what kind of fight. And it should have been a fun conversation. They turned it toxic. The creators turned it toxic this time, not the fans.
So here's exactly what he said. So someone commented him. They said, you make a random young man outrace Bruce in the first arc of your run. You like to sell Chimp as DC's best detective, not Batman. Now you're gaslighting people into thinking Dinah is better than him in hand-to-hand combat. Just admit it. You hate Batman, man. And he goes, I love Batman. I'm literally the writer of Detective Comics. He's one of the top heroes in the world. Dinah Lance is a better fighter than him. So is Cassandra Cain. Batman doesn't need you to defend him. He's Batman.
So, in the context of that is simple. In a boxing match, Ted Grant would body Batman in a boxing. He taught Batman how to box.
I just can't believe he
also taught Black Canary how to box. So, in a boxing match, yes, they can definitely beat him. Maybe not 100% of the time. They both are capable of outboxing Bruce Wayne. But if you put them in a fight, not a chance in hell. And see, that's the thing that should have been a fun conversation. You know what I mean? Like, people should have been able to talk about these and call out issue numbers and X, Y. Like, Lady Shiva can beat Batman in a fight. He can also beat her in a fight. Like, he's not the greatest fighter. And to be fair, Cassandra Cain would beat them all at the same time. That's her shtick. That's literally that character's shtick. Real quick, because you're awfully quiet. Weigh in on this, Paul. Where do you stand on these people's fighting capabilities with each other? Not the douchebag argument.
My first thought is, some people should just reply, you do realize all of these characters are made up. They're fantasy. Okay. And so, to argue like these people are real is kind of, I get it. It's great that you're so invested in it. Okay. But to make it as though, somebody hates a character or another person, whatever, because you don't like what they did with it. Well, you know what? His take is just as valid as your take, I think. Do I think, did you read Tom King's Black Canary?
Yeah, she beat Shiva.
Yeah, exactly.
She beat Shiva.
Right. So I think Black Canary could,
she can beat him in a boxing match.
Exactly. So but I think that probably for the most part, I think Batman probably would win for the most part, except for Batgirl, because it's funny too, like they didn't even actually touch each other, because Batgirl was actually able to say, when things, she could actually, see when all this stuff was happening.
Yeah, they were shadow boxing.
Right.
Yeah, and like, of course, there's always a thing. They're just fictional characters, and that's how it's supposed to be. But you're supposed to be able to have these fun debates. It's like It's like fantasy sports. They took the fun out of it. Like, we say that all the time on here. I love to debate these things. I get spirited. I get like all into it. But at the end of the day, these are comics. We're doing this for fun. This is our outlet. You're supposed to be able to like pull your references and support your arguments.
And that's what I meant by that is I'm not saying that people should be able to have the argument. Once it goes beyond the particular thing, that's the point to say these are fictional characters. Okay.
Yeah. And Tom was responding to a lot of people in like this big league kind of way. And I get their perspective. He absolutely has made some comments in the past where he's criticized the concept of being a straight white male and all. Again, he's coming from a very far left angle at this. That doesn't have, like, that might influence the way he tells his stories, but are his stories still good? Is he breaking canon? He's doing, for the most part, like his Nightwing run was heavily loved. I didn't care for it. His Titans run fell off for me. He's one of the best event miniseries Elseworlds writers that has ever existed. For sure, this guy.
He's a world creator. He's great at building these worlds that are kind of, you can get these Elseworlds.
Dark Knights of Steel.
Exactly. You can kind of,
Deceased,
but still
Deceased
actually kind
insane.
of, but still actually stand on their own. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for the most part, like I've been enjoying this detective run. I really have. I think for the most part, they probably need to keep him. Like, if you had to pick one or the other, do you want him writing Elseworld or do you want him writing main continuity? I would say keep him off of main continuity and put him on Elseworld, because everything that he's done in main continuity, it just gets long-winded. And like we've said that about this
I like
run.
the Nightwing run.
It's good right now, but I fear for it in the long term because he kind of just gets long in the tooth. A lot of writers get long in the tooth. Philip Kennedy Johnson, who I absolutely loved on Superman, he's really long in the tooth on Hulk right now. It still has its good moments, but it's by far not his best work, or nearly one of my favorite books to read right now. But it's just like how you gotta be careful not to put too much of yourself into these books, because if your goal is just to deconstruct and take away the things about Batman that you personally don't like, you're not being a good steward of the character. And I hope that doesn't happen. He didn't do that with Nightwing. He didn't do that on the Titans. He just wrote boring stories on the Titans. It just wasn't that good. It wasn't his wheelhouse, but he didn't stay on it long, and he went on to different things. So we know Dark Knights of Steel's next volume is coming up, and we're getting the Atlanteans in it. I'm super hyped for that. When he did the Beast World thing with that Titans crossover, it was exceptional. So,
yeah, and he's doing a Vertigo series too, so we'll see because that's his own creation. Maybe that's what he needs, is things like that.
Drew said he wrote the all-new Wolverine. He can rest on that laurel as long as he wants to, in my honest opinion. I didn't read that one, but I still swear by him being one of the best comic book writers out there if you put him on certain things. So all-new Wolverine sounds like it was one of those things. But again, Injustice, Deceased, and there's like 5 volumes of Deceased. Like, it's a lot, and all of it slaps. Every bit of it, every page. The book literally brought me to tears at one point with this thing with Alfred. I won't really get into, because if you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil it, because it's good. It is super good. And War of the Undead Gods, that one. But yeah, all the Dark Knights of Steel, we've had 2 volumes of that now, and a 3rd one on the way. He's an incredible writer. I just don't know if main continuity is his fit, especially if he thinks so highly of himself. Bro, chill. You're on Detective. This is supposed to be our outlet. Chill, bro. But again, I didn't notice it. And Chuck Dixon, dude, he's in that realm of like the reactionary comic creators and stuff. Like, he's an absolute comic book legend and deserves like the comic book respect and all that. But I don't get this idea of the actual creators trying to be social media, whatever, contrarians.
I can see why him and Graham Nolan got along so well to create Bane. Because Graham Nolan was the same thing about the artist, about Nick Dragotta designing Bane.
Yeah, but remember, he encouraged people to buy it at the same time. He said, "This is my opinion. Right. You should go buy the book and see if I'm right or wrong, but go buy the book." Like, these guys ain't like that. Behind DeFalco, he's the second best Tom. I don't know. You know I hold TK in high regard. He's definitely not surpassing TK for me, but I have to think of how many other Toms are out there. I don't know. I really do like Tom Taylor's Elseworld stuff. Like you guys, don't play newer games, but I'm curious to see the new Wolverine game when it comes out. No. I don't know. I think there's a new Wolverine game coming out. I thought I saw a trailer for that, and some kind of like 1940s Captain America game. Like, I feel like it's been years since I saw a commercial for it.
There's going to be a new Invincible game coming out too.
How dare you? Eric doesn't have a single extra word in it. There's a lot of extra words in it, but they're all necessary. Now that they're all in the right place in your book. Paul might get that book. Didn't you read Eric early?
Yeah.
When I had when there was only one physical copy of that book that existed, when he sent it to me to look at it early on, I guess it was years ago at this point. One of the things I was talking to him about was like the lettering, the placement. I'm like, you need to show this to Justin Birch. But they redid all the lettering in it. Man, that was such a good story. I'm excited for what comes next with Eric.
Exactly.
Yeah, go to comicavalon.com and get you a copy of Eric if you haven't already got it. Big things, big things. What else is happening this week in the world of stuff and things? I know that we had 2. Oh, I know what's happening. Before we get into that, there's 2 Absolute books out this week. One of them being good. It's called Absolute Wonder Woman. Issue number 18. We're starting off the Witch War. We were introduced to Zatanna already, but we had the big tease in the last one that they're having like a Battle of Witches story arc coming up, and a big tease about this character that showed up at the end. And they get into all of that and tee off and build up the momentum. You get all kinds of context to what direction it's going to be going in. So be sure to check out the DC Comics deep dive tomorrow on Sector 2815's channel. It's already recorded. It's loaded up, ready to go. And the other book is not good. It's called Absolute Martian Manhunter issue Who Gives a Shit. It was probably the most convoluted, random, make zero sense issue yet. And I know you might think I'm a little biased, but why would you? It's DC. Remember, I'm a DC show. Paul, what are your general thoughts on that issue?
It's like a beetle trying to make love to a beer bottle. It just doesn't work.
Doesn't work. So I got to tell you, Paul is eternally more positive about things than I am. So I just wanted y'all to hear his take on it. Anybody that's been defending that book against my criticisms, I beg you to go to that video tomorrow where we go through it and leave a comment, explain that book to me, that issue. Please try to get a synopsis of what happened without cheating. I dare you, because it's impossible. Nothing in it makes sense at all. Steve, you should go to one of those websites where you can look at some things and scroll through it and try to make sense of it, because it'll be a fun exercise.
What book?
The newest issue of Absolute Martian Manhunter. Like
I will not
jumped the shark, bro.
It
jumped the shark at issue 2, but at this point,
one of the issues, one of the issues, and I mentioned this, I don't know if it was here or on one of our deep dives, but with Dennis Camp, I feel like I can't get into reading it because I feel like I'm trying every single panel to try to understand what it is he's doing. And that takes you out of the story every single panel. So
definitely Ringo, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and I know that there are people who absolutely swear by it and they love it, and maybe they understand it in a way that I don't understand it.
I promise you, after this issue, they don't. They're just, this is where the word pretentious gets thrown around. This is why I use the word pretentious, is because of issues like this. People glaze a creator. I glaze certain creators I like, but I'll say when something's not as good or something, like, yeah, it wasn't, I don't recommend it. I might like it, but I don't recommend it, kind of thing. That's a normal go-to. There's no way someone can defend this issue. Like, it's indefensible. It doesn't even make sense. It's crazy. Ugh. If I had to pick one book, though, that was on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and when I say that, I mean it's structured good. The story is told clear, concise, with big hit moments, with little emotional moments, with major callback moments, with respect to the history of not just comics, but comic book television. The art is top tier. The writing is top tier. Everything from cover to cover is 10 out of 10. What book y'all think I would pick? It's Prime Time. Did not let us down. Reign of the Superboy is here.
Every one of those covers is so good, by the way. I love the ones where he's reading his own book, and I love the one where he's reading Absolute Superman.
Dude, it's incredible. So we know that Superboy Prime was brought back into the fold during this run early before DCKO, dealing with the Legion of Darkseid. Time Trapper went and got him to help Superman. You needed somebody with his power level, with that killer instinct. He wasn't going to be able to do it by himself. Dude, please read it, Drew. I'll talk to you Friday about it. I'm really looking forward to it, because I'll have legit questions for you. I'd be curious to see your perspective on it. And please read it, trying to love it. Like, read it, even if you don't like it, pretend like you do for a long time and play the devil's advocate with me. Try, because I would love to have that conversation in all sincerity. But they needed Superboy. And at the end of DCKO, Superman is cosmic. Superman is not here. He's elsewhere, being the King Omega imbued with alpha energy. So Superboy Prime is left on Earth, and this is where we pick this up. And he's on the Watchtower. He's hanging out, doing his thing. You get a lot of cool panels with how he's kind of like the heartthrob, because he is. Like, that's how he's presented. That's who he is. And you have the concern that everyone remembers his sins. They remember his crimes. They remember the bodies this dude has under him. Everyone's scared. and Lois is the only one there to vouch for him. Superman was the only person that anyone felt comfortable vouching for him because he's the only person that can do anything. Like if Superboy Prime snaps, no one can stop him for a minute. There's going to be a lot of damage before someone can slow him down. But Lois vouches for him. He genuinely is wanting to fill the boots of Superman. You know, it's his idol. He wants to be the best he can be, and he's actively trying to do that.
And in a meta moment, he sees himself as the Superman figure in all these iconic covers.
Oh yeah. You have an open copy?
I do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Look at this. Like the famous Jim Lee one, the little
Superman
Trinity
204.
there. Yeah, dude.
Oh, and then that Justice League,
Justice League
cover. I forgot which number it is.
Yep, an adventure one, the world finest one.
That's amazing.
And then the book you're actually holding.
Exactly. Yeah. Where he basically says, and it ends with, I can get my own #1 issue.
Yeah, he gets a little meta and he's telling Lois, like, I hope a lot of people pick up this book. If it does good enough, maybe they'll give me my own issue #1, which, man, wouldn't that be a great day to have Superboy Prime issue #1 hit shelves? I don't want him to become a played out character, but if they're going to actually give this much attention and care to him like they're doing in this, it would work at least for a good while. And that was the biggest strength of this book. We have all of these things like the Flash family, the Bat family, the Super family, where you have so many characters that a handful of them fall by the wayside. Like they don't get enough limelight. They don't know what to do with Tim Drake because there's too many Robins, and Damian's his son, and Red Hood has his gimmick and like this and that. We don't know what to do with Barry if we front run Wally, or with Wally if we front run Barry. And where's Wallace these days? You know, there's too many to do all at once. And John Kent has been struggling with that problem for a long time. Tom Taylor front ran him in that ongoing, and it didn't get over. They tried to push him during the Dawn of DC era with Nightwing. They got Nightwing over even more, who was already over, but it didn't work for John. They aged him up. They right now they're currently doing a story where there's an aged down version of him just from the past. They just don't know what to do with John. They put him on the New Titans right now, and they can't figure out what to do. We had that stupid issue of Superman Unlimited by Dan Slott that put him back in Smallville and made him a junior reporter at the miniature newspaper there for the Daily Planet. And he's like, I don't want to do this. And you're thinking, why is he doing this? This is his dad's thing. This isn't what's his thing. In one single issue, Steve, they literally did all of those things for this character who hasn't had but literally one issue spotlighting him. They gave him an alias. He's going by CK, which is an homage to Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher's Superman and Lois TV show.
I love that show.
Yeah, Jimmy called Clark CK for the entire thing. That was his nickname for him. That's his nickname. That's his alias, CK. Brilliant. He needs a job. Lois and him have a conversation. You can't just super all the time. If you want to be a part of this world, you have to be a part of this world, which means being just like the rest of us. So he goes to look for a job. He goes and gets one at a comic book shop in a creative, fun way. A comic book shop. If you know his origin, he's from the comic book version of our world where there are no superheroes. You only read about them in DC Comics. So it plays into his actual origin and the character and what he genuinely liked. They did everything, checked every box, and it didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel stuffed. It all happened organically and in a meaningful way. And it just proves that it isn't about the character. It's about the creator. Joshua Williamson is a top-notch creator. He's easily in the top 3 creators or writers for DC Comics. And this book is tracking to be my #1 pick for ongoing title for 2026, like it was for 2025. It's just, I was blown away by it. I had high expectations. It exceeded them.
I can't wait to read it. I wish I had a local comic shop, but I do have a long distance one that I will be buying.
Next time you get Dan Mora.
I mean, yeah, I wish I could have got Dan Moore to sign that, but it is what it is.
Oh, what'd you think of all the things that they did? Like the moment of like showing us like that scene in the beginning where he's just talking to the reader. He's like, "Come fly with me," and you turn the page and he's like flipped his lid and he's about to murder people. The very next page.
Yeah, he basically pulls a Christopher Reeve with Lois Lane, come fly with me. And then on the very next page, he's like Lobo, I'm not your grandpa's Superman, you stupid bastard.
Yeah. He literally says bastard, rips the dude's head off, and then in a panel with just pencil sketch, looks back at what he just did, and you turn the page, and he's like, okay, I can't do that. I got to calm down.
And they're bringing in not really an A-list, I guess maybe an A-list, but on the last page you get the reveal of who's going to be his first villain that he's going to fight against. Manchester Black.
Biggie Shack.
It look like a little zombie too.
I'm gonna go grab my charger real quick.
No. Okay. So that's going to be interesting because it reminds me of that Superman versus the Elite thing, and Superman had to air quotes here lose control to take them all out.
Right.
They got lucky that Superman was pretending like he lost control. Mm-hmm. Prime doesn't pretend. We've seen him pretend with the Legion, but he's very capable of snapping. But the Immortal one is here. I'm assuming this is the actual one. We've had a bunch of them. We got the Immortal Biggie Shack, the Immortal Biggie Sheik, the Immortal Biggie Mac. The Immortal one, though, the actual Immortal one, Biggie Shack has got fans.
There you go.
But good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend, dude. But yeah, dude, it was an incredible issue. My read of the week, hands down. And it was a strong week. Some good stuff out there. I do want to touch on and talk about at least 2 or 3 more. I want to hear your thoughts because we're in a whole new era for a character that we all really enjoy, we all really love, and this is a character that we all had to abandon for a small time. No, we never abandoned Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan might abandon us. But...
Kyle Rayner. We kind of,
Oh, yeah, I didn't take that thing. I was going to say...
Yes.
Fresh beginnings. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Flash has got the brand new creator team on now after DCKO. We had Mark Waid write the 3 issues that were during the tie-in. But jumping on point, fresh take, fresh start, fresh creative team. We got Ryan North, known for being a current Marvel writer. He's one of the fleeing creators jumping ship of Marvel and coming over to the yacht that is DC Comics, from the sinking Titanic to the mega yacht.
Yeah, it was kind of like we had Cy Spurrier, and then we kind of had the palate cleansing of Mark Waid during the DCKO tie-ins. Now to Ryan North. We talked about this actually when we were recording. I think the thing that I really liked about it was it feels like it was fun again. And that was really the thing that was missing from Cy Spurrier. I mean, he has kids. The way he dealt with this, and that was the thing that Jerry Adams did so well too, was the way he interacted with his kids. And it's like, he's trying to be a dad at the same time, and he's like, he doesn't
That's a good point. I know Jeremy Adams is married, has kids.
Right.
Mark Waid, he's older and all that stuff. I wonder if Cy Spurrier's single.
I don't know.
I'm not saying that to be funny or anything, but I wonder if like some of you're actually having experience with like a family unit of your own. I wonder. I'd be interested to look into that.
The whole thing where he doesn't realize that he thinks that he can just run with a plate of lasagna and it'll reheat itself, and he'll
He's like, if you're gonna do that, you got to flip it every couple seconds. I like the way that he interacted with some of his villains that weren't currently trying to look, I know I'm here. I'm not trying to do anything villainous. And he showed grace in a moment when he needed to. It reminded me of Fractions issue 1 of Batman, that interaction he had with Croc, which I don't know why I have such a soft spot for Killer Croc. I like Killer Croc, and that scene is still very memorable to me, how Batman interacted with him in that issue. When Croc gave him back the toys, like, I think you need it. I'm like, ooh, burned. But yeah, had a little moment like that. So I told Paul, the only thing I didn't like is there's a huge social media story being told. Like, a bunch of people are using social media to try to pretty much they climb a building and they're live streaming. I'm about to jump off this building, and they jump knowing that the Flash will catch them, and they're playing who can get more views and likes from being saved by the Flash. And that's corny as shit to me. We we literally work jobs, get paychecks, and when we get those, we get in cars and we travel distances to shops to hand them our hard-earned money for pieces of paper to read stories when we could sit at home and play on social media, but we don't do that. So me personally, I don't like these social media stories and stuff. They seem corny, annoying, and they seem very teeny bopperish to me. They're just not my jam. I get how, well, social media is relevant. No, it's really not. Like, social media has been around long enough now. It's not relevant. It's lazy, in my opinion. Do something else. So we'll see where it goes. What's up, J-Man? Wasn't he the president and client of the Hair Club for Men? Oh, that was Cy Sperling. Yeah, he wrote a terrible Flash run.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see where
awful.
this goes, you know, and like, which is something I couldn't say 6 months ago for the Flash.
Yeah, and this social media thing will be a flash in the pan as well. This will be, and then we'll really see. But yeah, he's got the tone down for sure. The tone that a Wally West led Flash book should.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and his costume.
The costume he goes back to his original costume. The whole black part of the costume is gone.
Thank God.
Mark likes, except he wants to see Wally's hair.
I want to see Wally's hair. If Wally is the Flash, he should have his hair out.
Can we agree that the DC Rebirth version of the Flash suit is the best?
I like the my personal one was the
You agree?
The Dark Side War one with the blue suit.
That's okay.
That was during Death Metal, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Yes.
When he got touched by the Dr. Manhattan, it was in Death Metal Speed
That's
Metal.
my second or
it was
third
supposed
favorite.
to go into 5G, but remember, Paul, you and I bought that trade paperback just to get the unreleased Free Comic Book Day storyline that they hid in the back of that trade paperback.
Yep.
Worth it.
Yeah. That
was my favorite costume.
Yeah, I agree with that. But but guess what about that blue costume? That David Finch cover they did, the variant for Speed Metal for that, with the best cover in that blue costume. He had his hair out. He had his hair out. But do you remember the John Wesley Shipp Flash TV show? How he fought Prometheus, which was like the like clone version of him. He was wearing blue. The bad guy John Wesley Shipp, who ultimately burned out. But yeah, me and Paul were talking about this when we were I think it was last night when we were hanging out on here just chit chatting. And I said the same thing, Steve. I said the dark red, instead of gold, it's silver. He's got the blue lightning in his hair out. That's
it's perfect.
Suit.
It's perfect. You can distinguish who it is 100%, but it's also like very close to the original Flash suit.
Yeah, it's like mixing the kid Flash suit with the Flash. Like, I grew up, I get to wear red, but I'm still wearing my kid Flash suit kind of thing. Like, this is my suit. That
cover where he's holding both uniforms is incredible, dude. You know what I'm talking about?
Was that a Titans cover?
It's a hold on. Wally West holding both uniforms cover. I know it's from DC Rebirth. I know that. Okay.
Oh, Rebirth. Got you. Bro, I found a Rebirth. The fourth print that had like him on it with the three
Flash Annual 5 from March 2018.
Gotcha. You know the fourth print of that DC Rebirth one shot with the three Jokers behind him?
Yep.
I found one of those in the dollar bin at Second and Charles the other day.
Hell yeah.
And then kept shopping and forgot to go back and get it.
But
I have it in a 9.8 because I graded mine out, but I was like, I should get this and just give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one of those. I love the third print as well of just Wally West on it.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those are good.
But yeah,
of course, the first issue is too. The cover A.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm cautiously optimistic with Flash. I did try to pick up, because I try a lot of books and pick up stuff that doesn't make it a conversation on the channel. But I tried his Fantastic Four run when they kickstarted that off, and it was, in my opinion, it was awful. So I dropped it. So I don't really have any experience with Ryan North other than that. Paul pointed out, and AR has talked about how he loves Ryan North, and he also worked on some Star Trek Lower Decks comic books and stuff. So we'll see what he can do at DC. We'll see. Now that he's in the big leagues, we'll see.
We be in the big leagues.
We're in the big leagues now. Drew, I think I'm getting my showcase 34 tomorrow. All right, nice.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
And yeah, yes, Paul. What is it? Yes, I had to pull up the calendar. So next Sunday night is the Legion Loot drawing. If you are a channel member in the Legion tier, you have between now and Sunday to make sure you're in the Legion tier, because we'll be doing the Wheel of Names and the drawing for the March Legion Loot, which is this isn't even all of them, because more are coming out this Wednesday, I think, right?
No, I think they're done because this is the 1st of April. So everything should have come out.
Well, this is most of them that are sitting here. I might have some more in the other pile over there.
I will not be here next week because I'm getting my wisdom teeth out.
Oh, maybe
can you afford to do such a thing? I don't mean monetarily.
If all the wisdom's in your teeth, I wouldn't take them out.
What was that in the goods? Will Ferrell's like, most people's life flash for their eyes and they think about all the things they did wrong. I think about what I did right. Number 1, get my wisdom teeth put back into my skull.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But we've got Superboy or Superman Unlimited featuring the Tomorrow Man, aka character that you should read it. This is Green Lantern Corps. You got Joe Mullen, Guy Gardner, John Stewart, and Jessica Cruz on there. This is Action Comics. This is Supergirl. This, surprisingly, is Aquaman.
Emperor Aquaman.
I think this is Batman. Or is this Detective? This is Batman. That one's gold. Mm-hmm. New Titans. I'm assuming this is Batgirl.
Batgirl, yep.
Yeah. Poison Ivy. JSA.
That's great.
Yeah, they even put the logo behind them. It's the only one that has the logo behind them. Nightwing. Is this World's Finest?
Yep.
Gotta be.
Yep, World's Finest. So yeah, that
is that next week? I want that.
I'm doing the Legion Loot drawing next week. Yeah, I got more of these somewhere. I'm gonna have to.
The Wonder Woman one came out this past week.
I got it. I just don't know where it is. Yeah, I got more of these laying around somewhere.
Wonder Woman came out. Detective came out. Flash came out.
I got that one too. So yeah,
Green Lantern came out.
Paul.
Justice League Unlimited came out. So there was like 5 of them that came out this week.
There was a Dan Mora cover.
Yeah, the Flash one is gold also.
Right. Yep.
There was a Dan Mora cover of that new Tomorrow Man at Planet Comic-Con. But it was like $30 with a free signature. So I was like, I don't need it. I don't know anything about the character. So
it's just John Kent.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he takes up that because the young John Kent comes back as well.
So they're in the same timeline.
So he's out of time right now. He was in a fight with a 4th dimensional demon like Mxyzptlk kind of thing, fighting through time and space kind of thing. And a young version of himself pops up and he throws on this outfit to not reveal himself to himself kind of thing. Yo, where did I put all these other books? Got that Flash.
I think there were 6 of them this week.
I don't know if there's that many.
Actually, there were 7. I think because Catwoman came out, or maybe we had Superman that came out, we had Flash, we had Green Lantern, we have Justice League Unlimited, Detective Comics, and Wonder Woman. Even though the issue came out last week, the foil one came out this week.
Yeah, I noticed that with the Wonder Woman one. I thought I'd miss it, but I got it this week. Oh, never mind. I know where they're at. They're at the bookstore. That's right. No, I put them all in my box. I got like a stack of them in my box. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to get these next week. So yeah, I'm looking for books that I pulled. They're sitting in my box. Yeah, cool. I was getting nervous. I'm like, look, and Paul already said, Mark, you left them in your box here at the store. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. I'm like, I know I grabbed them when I was there, but yeah. So yeah, we'll have I'll have them all. I'll show them all off Tuesday. Again, the big set of them. It's good stuff. Worth the mention, yeah. Demon stole my lunch money back in the 3rd grade. Happened to John Kent in the most recent issue, Superman Unlimited. Which I got to tell you, like all joking aside, it was legit a good issue. Like it was the best issue since issue 1, and 1 was super solid. It really was. But yeah, it was. I'm wondering, do you think they're going to let the Tomorrow Man gimmick stick for a while, or do you think I'm assuming it's just for Superman Unlimited, being that he's unaware where he is in time and space of the conclusion to DCKO continuity wise, and we know in the main continuity stuff he just pulled up with the new Titans. So I'm assuming this is just, again, Superman Unlimited remains irrelevant kind of story arc.
Yeah, I mean they have to do something, right? Well, all because as far as I know, we still have all these time displaced heroes, right?
No, they're all gone.
Oh, that's right, because Superman reset everything at the end of KO.
No, the time displaced heroes all died one by one in the Justice League book in Mr. Terrific's 10, the Terrific 10.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so they remember he revealed like y'all aren't time displaced like you think. You're like a shadow of your real self. You don't exist in the past or the future. You're just here somehow in a shell. It's like you left your essence behind or was pulled out. Yeah, so they all died heroically one by one, like the Suicide Squad. It was wild. So back to the question, what do you think they're going to do with Tomorrow Man?
I don't know.
I gotta go put my kid to bed. I just got a message.
Use a blow dart. It happens faster.
Love you guys.
You take it easy, homie.
Take care.
Bye.
What's up, Billy? I do as well, Bobby, especially when they are summoned by Rockin' Robbie, the king of deadlifts. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see if they somehow manage to have Tomorrow Man meet up with John Kent in the Titans.
You know, after reading Superman this week and thinking back on it, I'm like, golly, if that were the case. Like when I read it, I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe the Tomorrow Man gimmick can be something for John. And then I read what they just did with Superboy Prime. I'm like, yeah, the Tomorrow Man thing ain't gonna work. That ain't it. That they should. I think John's perfectly placed on the Titans in an ensemble book. Like forcing growth in him has not worked. The last time we saw this kid having any organic growth was when Philip Kennedy Johnson was writing Action before the World saga, and I think Hester was doing the art, and you had all these like heart-wrenching, meaningful interaction moments with Superman and his son, which should be called Superboy still, but that was the last we really had of, because remember they were even like, dude, I have these power, like some of these powers keep like showing up that I didn't know I had. Like remember he could shoot his heat ray and it could go to a specific point and pop kind of thing, and they haven't done anything with none of it. If they want to do something with John, just make him electric blue.
It's gonna bring that up.
It's he still has that ability. They haven't wrote it out yet.
Right.
Just make him electric blue. If he wants to use his powers at all, one iota of them should cause him to turn electric blue. It's that simple. And you have a gimmick. And it's built into the Superman lore. We have the catalyst for what caused it with the Lazarus Planet event. It's still in there. He just did it at the end of the he's never used it. He's turned blue numerous times and never has used it. Turns blue, he's like, look at me. And people are like, oh snap, let's stop fighting. It's that simple. Like, just turn him electric. I got the t-shirt.
Works for Godzilla.
Works for Godzilla. They turned him pink. He looks awesome.
Yeah.
-1 might be, or -0, he might be green spiked. It's going to be great. Just turn him electric blue. Superboy Prime owns his limelight right now. Superboy Prime is a far superior Superboy right now. You got to do something with John. He's on the Titans. Turn him blue. Turn him blue. I don't know what else they should do with him. All right, let's kick it back over. We had a big milestone issue this week. Tell them about it.
Legacy issue number 600, Green Lantern. The return of Kyle Rayner to prominence in the book.
Big time.
Big time. We get Jeremy Adams does a couple of different stories here. We have all of the artists that he's worked with on Green Lantern. Ron Mars and Daryl Banks do a story on him as well. They do the origin of Kyle in here. They do the origin of Hal in here, and it is it's pretty good. Looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward. I mean, I think they're gonna basically. I think it's gonna be Hal and Kyle that they're gonna go back and forth here in this issue, and John and everyone else will be in the core probably.
That's another one of the foils. Is this week? It's just Kyle in his new suit.
Right.
What do you think of the new suit?
I like it. It's not a huge departure from his old one, but he's got kind of the green on the legs. They kind of. So yeah, it's funny because he actually started when he first became Green Lantern. He actually had a suit that looked exactly like Hal Jordan, and then because he was an artist, he was able to kind of design his own.
His suit looks amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the new one's not bad. They added some extra stuff, extra lines.
Yeah. I like the mask doesn't look quite as metal as I like that actually though. So I like the way his mask looks now.
SuperBoy Prime is a great character because he is dangerous. And there is this feeling he could go full psycho any moment. Great characters should be dangerous. Yeah, should be capable of it. Should be capable of it for sure. I agree with you on SuperBoy Prime. That's one of the awesome aspects of we trust me, I full on glazed SuperBoy Prime already. Probably about 20 minutes ago. We're reviewing the newest issue of Superman, which you should definitely go get, Billy, if you didn't read it. SuperBoy Prime is front running the main Superman book for the foreseeable future right now. So don't miss out on it. If you're a SuperBoy Prime fan, like a lot of DC heads out here who are celebrating his return, and the biggest push he's ever had is happening right now. So don't miss out.
Right.
But yeah, we had the origin of Hal. We had the origin of Kyle. It's a huge jump on point. So it's kind of just explaining these characters to new readers while also positioning Kyle as the primary Lantern right now, while Hal is going off to deal with something. We check in with Kronos and how he's manifested this imperfect body that looks like Hal, and even he is curious a little bit of why it looks like Hal, and it's going to be tied into what happens in the future, obviously. And then is this the one that we had Odyssey in? Kyle and Odyssey are going to the apartment. So we get a cool little story. Wally pops in to guest star, but Kyle is setting up in LA. That'll be his base of operations while he searches for the remaining, is it 5 missing fugitives out of the science cell, where they deal with one of them this. So we should get this episodic storytelling over the next few issues as he's collecting these fugitives that when they let out all the prisoners in the science cells during the big story arc finale of the Starbreaker Supremacy. Not all of them worked to help fight off the universe-ending event. Some of them just ran to go do villainous stuff. And this one manifests in an AI in Hollywood that's taking people's jobs. And there's a lot of AI conversation in DC Comics this week. And Detective Comics had an AI story element to it. So did Green Lantern. It makes me think back when these books were being written, some kind of big AI announcement must have happened, because it definitely influenced a lot of writers simultaneously when these books were being plotted out and stuff. But it was a fun issue. It was a good issue. And I highly recommend Jeremy Adams, Any and Always, Aquaman, Green Lantern. And this is just
I kind of feel like they kind of pulled in Aricia with Kyle's girlfriend. Kind of like
with Odyssey?
No, with the like they don't mention Aricia anymore about the what Hal and her.
Oh yeah, they show her in this, but they don't refrigerate her in this.
Right, exactly. So
they kind of insinuate like they separated because work just took all of his time away. I was waiting on the refrigerator was in those panels.
Yep, exactly.
3 panels in a row of them happy in the room, and then him working in the room, then her not happy because he worked too much, and the refrigerator's right there. I'm like, oh, am I going to turn the page and she's going to be in it? Nope. Major force wasn't in there. No.
That obviously is a huge turning point in his life and part of his origin.
Yeah. That's what broke him. I mean, that still carries over into all of his biggest things. Like, I don't know. I wonder if it's considered canon still. If they haven't talked about it, maybe they think they went too far, kind of like what they did with Arthur's kid. They regretted that.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, I think we went too far. It's too late now. We shipped the books out. And
it was Gail Simone who called them out.
Yeah, I think that's an important part of it. Like, they shouldn't ignore it. There's no reason just to bring it up all the time, but when you're doing an origin story retelling and telling readers, that's kind of weird to leave that out. And then when you mention it, like I said, the refrigerator's in it, and she's next to it.
Right.
She's never in it.
Right.
Yeah. The last big hitter from DC this week. It looks like a lot of bad guys are getting a little bit of amnesty, in the newest issue of Justice League Unlimited, issue number 17. Villain amnesty starts here. What in the world does that mean, Paul?
It means that we may just have, although we have Lex Luthor, of course, is always plotting, but we may have Giganta and Harley Quinn and Lobo, King Shark, and Lex Luthor, all basically getting there. Remember those cards that you used to go in and you could get them from your comic retailer, the Justice League Unlimited cards. Exactly.
Maybe. I might remember them.
Yeah,
It might be in arm's reach.
Mine's right over there. So, yep. You got a blank one and you got the dark side one too that came with it. So there you go. There's the dark side one. They're all getting their cards, which means that they can. That's what they basically use the transporters and everything. So, yep.
Yeah, when this Justice League Unlimited run started, they kind of stouted that we're calling it Unlimited because all heroes are getting invited to be Justice League members. You won't all be here all the time, but you'll all be on call all the time. The universe is too big for us to box anyone out of League membership. And after the events of DCKO, the villains are kind of like, there's a bit of the messaging in this that caught me a little off guard. The villains are kind of talking to him like, yo, how can you sideline us for something as big as the KO event? How can you try to double arrest us to make sure that we don't show up because you're too worried about us, when you should have been coming to us saying, hey, your world's going to end also. Just because we're villains don't mean we don't have loved ones. Don't mean we don't have families. It doesn't mean we want this world to dissolve under our feet. That threat was so big, we all should have worked together, which to me, that was like a moment like from Captain America, Falcon, Winter Soldier TV show at the end of it, when he's standing on the soapbox preaching to the good guys that they should have been nicer to the terrorists, like that. Like it was kind of a moment like that to me, like, yo, y'all are untrustworthy. You stabbed someone in the back literally at any minute. It happened in issue 1 when y'all showed up. Y'all literally killed Batman. Thought you did at least. You stabbed him in the back. Like there's a reason why. So it felt a little like whiplashy, preachy, but I get Lex be scheming, and it brings up a moral quandary that they have to start talking about. And they ultimately issue a handful of these people the card, kind of expanding the definition of unlimited. I would argue King Shark deserves a card. That's just me. Nanawe, he's awesome. He's an avatar of the Red. He deserves a card. Plus, with the big reveal of Red Canary recently, I think it's safe as long as you have her around. Any avatar of the Red, let him in. Because if they get out of line, Red Canary can check them. Did you read Justice League Red?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was pretty solid.
It
was. I like the little level up that Red Canary got.
Yep. I love the fact that they kind of foreshadow that they're not quite done with Darkseid yet. That there's going to be one more big battle.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. That's what I was telling people on Tuesday, that this is the epilogue for KO, because they're talking about it. It's all built off of it. And they also point out directly, like that was their main deciding factor about passing out the cards, is the DCKO event was not the end of Darkseid. Like, we managed to push him away. We know he's coming back stronger. We'll need to be more prepared. We need the strength in numbers. That was the main tipping point to let him have access, to let him in.
And it's not every week that you can say that Tarpit appears in 2 separate titles.
2 Flash animals. That's wild.
Yeah.
But to your point about the not done with Darkseid, the DC All-In saga continues. We know that we're technically in the next level era of All-In. We have the Lobo, Batwoman, Deathstroke books all being branded next level, but All-In is still appearing on all the books. So they're keeping this branding alive, which I think is brilliant, to do like chapters in it, really, to make it a bigger thing, because we know that they're doing this epilogue book. This was announced here recently, a DC All-In Darkseid versus the World, which they're saying is a DC KO epilogue. You got a lot of new gods on here. There's this little kid front and center down there in the bottom, who I think might be that new god that was revealed in Ron V's most recent run. Can't confirm that. I'm thinking that's who it could be, though. And we know that it's announced that the Dark Crisis, the Absolute Crisis is down the road, not this year.
2027.
Yeah, so we got all kinds of stuff coming in. It's all under the All In Saga banner. So there's a lot of stuff coming that if people ain't learned yet, Drew, they gonna learn why DC continuity is untouchable when they're even firing on half their cylinders, because they're on all their cylinders right now. With so many people having joined and jumped into DC Comics, they are now along for the ride of proper event building, which nobody event builds like DC. You just don't. It's okay. That doesn't mean you're writing bad events. There's good and bad events all over. But when DC writes their events that they build up to, they're untouchable. Crisis on Infinite Earths, Infinite Crisis, hell, the DC KO event, Absolute Power was 2 years in the making. And now we're doing books that are longer years in the making. That means all the highs are even higher and there aren't any lows. You just have highs and higher highs. It's going to be amazing. Epic disjointed continuity. Oh man, I love you, Drew. I love that you let me take pot shots at you, man. I hate that like he's just in the chat there. It feels like that's unfair. But we spar on Fridays. We have our fun on Fridays. But yeah. But man, I got nothing else. I am excited to read Punisher. I picked up the John Jane cover for Punisher this week. I'm absolutely loving Benjamin Percy's run on the Punisher right now. This isn't the Benjamin Percy one. This is the One World. What is it? The World to Come. I dropped this one because it was actually terrible and it was just a ripoff of the main Marvel one. They're literally writing the exact same book practically in two separate titles that don't have to do with each other because there's no editorial at Marvel. There's no continuity. But yeah, that was crazy that was happening. But the Benjamin Percy one has this wicked, beautiful Jigsaw cover, just absolutely wild. I'm excited that Jigsaw's back for this arc. What a wicked villain, you know what I mean? Like super cool villain. I didn't get a chance to read Midnight Man yet. Mark Spears has his own first created character story. Did you read yours?
I did.
What'd you think?
It was okay. He takes some shots at himself. He references lots of different things from monsters. I just kind of wish that he would just, get monsters coming out on a regular basis. All this.
I think it comes out once every 2 months, right? That's has it
but
been
now
delayed
this
along
next
the
one
way?
this next one is okay. The second issue of Midnight Man, it just says later this year.
Well, that was because that was supposed to be a reveal. I found this out Tuesday. So this was slated as a one shot, still even listed like that on League of Comic Geeks. So the week that this came out, Mark Spears was at a con, one of the cons that just happened, right? And he made the surprise announcement to the fans that this isn't simply a one shot, that it will continue. And if you got it and read it, which I didn't discover it till I had it in my hand, that's supposed to be a big reveal for Mark Spears fans. Like that, it's not just a one shot, there'll be more.
Yeah, but
so I guess it sold good enough.
The monster and the wolf, it's like, what? I just kind of feel like sometimes they take on too much. I get that Keenspot wants to put out as much Mark Spears as possible, but
that Mad Hatter issue, the most recent one, was much needed when you're just literally sitting in a police station in an interrogation room with the Mad Hatter telling the detectives, there's a lot of loose plot threads. This is going on, that's going on, but what really matters? Let me explain it. That was much needed. It kind of felt like it kind of aimed it a little bit. So I'm excited for this. I'm having fun with it. I don't know how much like someone could enjoy it if you're kind of not like prone to like the monster stuff, or if his art doesn't like really speak to you kind of thing. But yeah, it's working for me. So I'm excited to see what he does with it. And hopefully it doesn't take you down a further rabbit hole. Hopefully it helps to like, there needs to be a through line. I don't think he's quite because this is his first outing as a writer. So that's fine. Like you're going to learn along the way, which I think his Monster and the Wolf shows you how much he learned from writing Monsters, because Monsters is actually a couple years old when he wrote it, right? Because he did it on Kickstarter first before he started doing direct market. So it's older than we really think. So he's developed a lot, and that shows with Monster and the Wolf. But he's got to get the idea of like your main plot and your subplot, not just all these plots on the same kind of through line, Right. But I'm willing to ride it out with him. You know, he's a great guy. He's a fantastic human being. All anything that we can see as fans from our perspectives and stuff. So I'm happy to support him because I'm getting enough out of it that I'm happy with it. And I legitimately do like his art. And I saw how in the past like month he stopped with the like the neon color filter over stuff. He was doing like a more realism color palette. And that like was like, yo, this is like brand new feeling all over again. It's pretty cool. So we'll see where it goes. And the one that I always save for the end of my stack, which I haven't read yet, I always save Department of Truth for last because typically I read it and then I find myself like, I don't know, like 9 hours later, doom scrolling the darkest corners of the internet. So I'm not prepared to do that right now. So I'll probably read that tomorrow because I'm off on Tuesday for my final promised off day for the next 22 days. Let's go Masters Week. I don't want to call it a week. Let's go Masters event.
Right.
But yeah, dude, fantastic week for comics. Fantastic week for television. Fantastic week for news and stuff. The Superman 2026 annual was also announced. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah. I shared it on my Instagrammy. That's what it was. I didn't say what it was now that I think back on it, Paul. All I did was share the photo of it. This thing with Darkseid and what would you call him? King Omega Superman.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
But it's got Commandy on here. You've got OMAC on here, which, you know, those two characters are actually closer intertwined than a lot of people realize. You've got the Legion of Darkseid on here. I think that this is supposed to be what's going to be springboarding us into the actual Legion of Superheroes.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain that that's what it said in the thing that I saw. But yeah, you get like Wonder Woman over there next to you. You got OMAC in a headlock, and then down in the corner you got Commandy. I actually had to color enhance this because it's really flat colors and stuff. But yeah, so I guess we're gonna be checking in with the Legion of Darkseid because we know that they left at the end of the KO event. They're not down, they're not out. Saturn Girl has had her eyes open. They're kind of snapped out of the I guess it's really anti-life, right? I mean, ultimately that's what he did. He had total control over him. They snapped him out of the anti-life hold. So we'll see where they go. And we'll see if it has anything to do with redemption or the actual Legion of Superheroes. And I think this is what's supposed to be springing us into that announced ongoing or mini series that they'll be doing soon.
That's just what we need. Another Legion.
I'm for it.
I'll read it absolutely, but we already have 3 different Legions. At least.
What's going on? What's going on? Brother Joe, how's it go? But yeah, so I don't know if we need maybe, dude, I wonder if the Legion of Darkseid, at least the primary ones that are still alive after Superboy Prime, I wonder if they're going to be joining the Legion. I wonder if they're going to be is that going to be our Legion of Superheroes?
Maybe.
Like them like taking off the stone outfits and stepping back into their roles. Is that going to be them? We know that they wiped out a bunch of versions through the multiverse of themselves.
Right.
How would you feel about that if the new Legion of Superheroes story is actually those Legionnaires that committed those atrocities under Darkseid's spell?
I don't know. I mean, I think they still have to somehow form the Legion because of Superman, because that's the whole thing behind the Legion. Is it formed because of Superman?
In this case, it would be because of Lois. Ultimately, if they went that route, wouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. If we're not just going to go just get the existing Legion, which we don't even know what side of the grave they're on. We have no clue.
Right.
We'll see. I'm interested. We got no more information on that or Jonah Hex yet. Where those are the next 2 confirmed next level titles that we're waiting to get information on. Do we even know who's writing them yet?
Josh Williamson is writing the Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, guaranteed to be good and guaranteed to. Now I bet it is going to be formed because of Lois, because he did the Legion of Darkseid story arc, and
right.
It's going to be heavily tied in with the Superman title if he's doing it.
Be. Yeah.
Dude, why haven't they just sent John Kent to the future yet? Oh, they got to figure out what to do with him. Let's make him blue, electric blue him.
There you go.
Man, that's all I got, man. You got anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Dude, we went right at 2 hours. Damn. I thought it'd been an hour and a half. All right, well, that's going to do it for tonight, dude. I appreciate everybody hanging out and rocking with us tonight. I hope you heard about something that gets you excited for some comic books. Get out there, get to read them, come back, hang out, talk about them with us. Be sure to check out the new episode of Monarch this Thursday. It airs at 9 o'clock. It technically releases on Friday, but it literally releases at 9 p.m. on Thursdays. Don't know how that works out. They must be using like overseas.
They use Greenwich Mean Time usually or something like that. Or...
Shout out to that time zone.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And then Daredevil comes out this week with 2 episodes. I'm not recommending y'all go watch it. Watch it if you want to, but I didn't tell you to go watch it just because I who knows what will happen. But I do recommend Monarch. Other than that, we got any other movies releasing here? Wait, there's supposed to be 2 Hulu movies that came out. Vince Vaughn has a new Hulu movie that he actually did the podcast rounds talking about. He was on Theo with great episode. Vince Vaughn's he's a real one, but I got to go look up that. And then that it's the name of the movie is like 4 names, and 3 of them are the same person.
Oh yeah, like Mick, Nick, and Alice or something like that. Right?
Yeah, but apparently it's really good, and I like Vince Vaughn movies. Like he dominated for a long time, putting out good stuff. So I'm excited to see what he does. You know, he's in that phase where he does a lot of the gigs and roles he takes now are heavily based on like what he thinks his kids will like. You know, yeah, I highly praised episode 1. Highly praised episode 1, but I ain't got my faith when it comes to the Marvel shows. So on Drew's recommendation, go watch it. I'll let him have that. If it's good, we will credit Drew with the W on that. I'll be watching it. I'll tell you that. I'm definitely watching it. But I'm not giving it a stamp of approval yet. We'll see how it goes. But Monarch, go watch that. Brother Joe, Bobby, Drew, everybody who's still rocking with us in the chat, I appreciate y'all coming, hanging out. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that join button. Make sure you get in there on that Legion tier. Next Sunday night, we will be doing the Legion loot drawing with the corner box low. What are they called? Corner box variants?
Yes. Yep.
The foil corner box variant set. There's like close to 20 of them, I think.
They call it that because each of the ones on the cover, the foil ones actually appear in the corner of each of the issues. So that's why they call them the corner box variants.
Yeah, I got 12 of them right here and a stack of them sitting in my box to pick up when I go Tuesday to grab them. So yeah, bunches of them. So I'll be giving those away next Sunday right here. But in the meantime, tune in 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. tomorrow on Sector's channel, where him and I go through the absolute DC universe from this week. And then Tuesday at 2 p.m., come back right here for the new DC Day stream. We'll preview what books are coming out, hang out, chit chat, talk, and run the weekly DC giveaway during that stream. You don't have to be a channel member to just be present in the chat for your chance to win. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.
You are who you choose to be.